Мы создали специальный отдел, который занимается минимизацией потребления воды на предприятии ЛМК, а также на других заводах компании. Основными разделами нашего первоначального плана была организация мониторинга водопотребления на ежечасной, ежесуточной основе. Основываясь на этом, мы выделили основные единицы оборудования, потребляющие наибольшее количество воды, и основные единицы оборудования, теряющие наибольшее количество воды. И после этого сделали план.
The transformation of the plant in Moscow is now fully complete, and it runs at maximum efficiency. Water consumption has been reduced by 60% over a period of 18 months. With the success at Lianzovo dairy plant, Wimbledon has now begun to transform all its plants across Russia. Based further north near the rapidly expanding city of St. Petersburg is Wimbledon's Baltic Milk Factory. In 2002, the Baltic Milk Plant became part of Wimbledon, and since then production has increased, and the plant now currently processes 300 tons of milk a day.
С чего началась новая жизнь предприятия «Схода Мебельдан»? В первую очередь началась реконструкция компрессорного цеха. Затем началось строительство новой котельной. Но параллельно с этим вводились новое технологическое оборудование по переработке молока. В настоящее время компания «Вимбельдан» уделяет очень большое внимание развитию инфраструктуры, нацеленной в первую очередь на защиту экологии и окружающей среды северо-западного региона, в частности, на нашем предприятии.
There is still much that needs to be done, and a great amount of effort is being put in to ensure that all the work is complete by 2010. With Wimbledon successfully competing on the global market, other Russian companies are starting to follow its lead on the environment.
It's more to do with either something inherited from the Soviet past, heavy machinery, I don't know, oil, gas, etc. But I think more and more companies are really paying attention to what they do, also because once they approach a point at which they have a major accident or a major something, then it really brings it home to them how important it is to invest in building proper processes. And I think many are really starting to do something about it.
Protecting the world's resources is key to mitigating the impacts of climate change. And according to the IPCC, or Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, to do this, industrialised countries must commit to reducing their emissions by 80% of 1990 levels by 2050, a truly momentous undertaking. But some experts argue that a solution is already staring us in the face, in the form of biofuels. But it's only recently that we are beginning to see the true potential of biofuel technology. When it was first introduced to potentially replace petrol, it caused a lot of controversy. The first generation of biofuels were created from crops that were grown on land normally used for food production, and this sparked a debate over what was more important, food or fuel.
Given the fact that there's going to be an increase in the world population, we've got to move away from first generation into the second generation lignocellulose crops. The advantage in using the second generation lignocellulose crops is that a lot of these crops can grow on marginal land that's not used in food production.
Production of biofuel from second generation crops such as grasses offers a potential alternative. The aim is to maximise the use of the full range of sugars in perennial ryegrass for fermentation to ethanol. This will be achieved by using an appropriate combination of pre-treatments, enzymes, yeast, and most importantly, an ethanol-producing thermophilic bug or microorganism.
The other advantage of the TMO bug is that it's a thermophilic organism, which means that it can grow at high temperature. The advantage about this is that traditionally processing, what you do is you do an enzyme digest at high temperature, where they're more efficient, then you'd reduce the temperature for the yeast fermentation, then you'd bring the temperature up again for the production, for taking off the ethanol. Whereas the TMO organism, because it's a thermophilic organism, can be kept at that high temperature the whole time. So you're not wasting resources cooling it down and then heating it up again.
TMO Renewables was founded in 2002 and has developed a technology which is described as the sponsor of a paradigm shift in the production of ethanol from biomass. The core of TMO's offering is an ethanogen, developed in its laboratories. This thermophilic organism operates at high temperatures and digests a wide range of feedstocks very rapidly. TMO takes biomass materials that have very little value and makes them into ethanol in a simple, cost-effective and energy-efficient process.
TMO's technology can really make a difference today. We can take, for instance, the waste straw produced in the UK currently. We estimate that to be 7 million tonnes, and we can use that to convert it into ethanol and actually offset 10% of all the gasoline used in this country every year in a sustainable way.
TMO intends to offer this second-generation technology primarily to the existing corn ethanol sector. It believes that by bolting on a TMO-designed facility at an existing corn ethanol plant, dried grains that are created as byproduct can be further processed into additional ethanol.
At the moment, how TMO's technology will be integrated is we will build an add-on plant alongside the existing first-generation plants. So, for instance, for a 100 million gallon modern ethanol plant in the US, TMO's facility would be about 15 million gallons. So delivering about a 15% increase on the ethanol produced for every ton of material that comes into the plant. And actually, because the first generation plant doesn't have to dry a lot of that material, there are substantial energy savings.
Unlike first-generation biofuels, the TMO process uses a wet feedstock, and as a result, the cost and energy required to dry the feedstock is eliminated. In September 2009, TMO Renewables successfully completed the first year of operation of its process demonstration unit, the first cellulosic ethanol demonstration plant of its kind in the UK. Since its completion in the summer of 2008, the plant has been running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to process a wide range of cellulosic feedstocks, including grass, newspaper and municipal waste, on an industrial scale.
These technologies have the potential to deliver technically up to 85% of the world's gasoline requirements. And there's adequate biomass in the world when our forces are properly marshalled to deliver those types of volumes. The gasoline market, of course, is a gigantic commodity, and whilst it would be great for TMO to say we'll take the whole 85%, that's not economic sense. But we could certainly envisage meeting 10% of the UK, Europe and the US gasoline consumption within a few years. It's such a potent technology.
It's a far cry from the days when people worried that biofuels would take up vital land needed for crops, which could easily have led to dramatic price increases in food.
Well, I think sort of ethanol plants like this are a world away from the whole debate around GM crops and genetically modified food for human consumption. I think we just got to focus on the excellence of our research scientists and our innovators and really back our entrepreneurs who are much better at finding solutions than government.
All countries attending COP15 are now in agreement that climate change is a pressing reality that affects us all. The challenge for delegates will be to come up with a global solution that works for everybody, both developing and developed countries. Green ideas are all very well, but not if they are unaffordable. Next week, we look at 4 environmental projects transforming our notions of modern design and construction as we travel to Germany, the US, Belgium, and here, the city of Copenhagen. My name is Flemmick Webb. Thank you for watching.